Hello, Prue Jones from Place Coastal Property bringing you the weekly property report. Today is Monday, August the 19th. Goodness, well, the weather is certainly improving at a rapid rate, and although we had some quite cold mornings over the last month or so, the weather is absolutely delightful at the moment. And as you can see, I have a vase of daffodils behind me, and although we are a couple of weeks before the official start of spring, the market is starting to warm up on the peninsula. We track the suburbs of Cape Schanck, Fingal, St Andrews Beach, Capel Sound, Rosebud, Tutguruk, Rye, Blairgowrie and Sorrento. And last week there were 12 sales across those 9 suburbs. Top sale being one property at 57 Ocean Road. Gorgeous luxe coastal home of 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms with 4 cars. Ocean Road runs between Melbourne Road and Point Nepean Road, and a lovely area of Blairgowrie. There are really some beautiful designer homes in that precinct, and this was certainly no exception. Very high-end design inside. Price was undisclosed, but it did sell over 2.7 million, so quite a good sale to have in the files for the market as we come down into spring. That was the first sale in Blairgowrie. There were 3 sales last week in Blairgowrie, 36 Jeffrey Street. Now that sold in November 21, so not very long ago, 3 years, for 1,290,000. It was resold last week. The price was withheld, but it was marketed between $1,050,000 and 1.15, and I think that indicates that it did sell for a figure underneath what it sold in 2021, but sometimes that's the case. The other sale was at Egerton Street, number 14, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms and 2 cars on 670 square metres, and that property sold for 1,190,000. Rye, there were 4 sales, 26 Maori Street, which is close to the front beach, big single level home, slightly dated inside, but still a sprawling home on 1,001 square metres, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 4 car accommodation. That property sold for 1,630,000. Another sale in Alexandra Crescent, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on an acre, so that's over near Tremens or Browns Road rather, so that side of Rye. That property sold for 1,395,000. Quite a good buy for an acre, and quite a lovely home. Most of those homes in those areas on those larger blocks closer to Browns Road were built in the 90s, so there is some element of age in those buildings, but still quite a substantial property. Very strong sale in 16th Beach last week of a property in 9 Marianne Avenue. It had been on the market for about 5 months, but it did eventually get its price. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars. It was an architect designed home, an extension of a small original bungalow, which was quite tasteful and very artistic, and it sold for over 2.1 million. So very good result there for 16th Beach. Good to have those sales in the files, as I said, coming into spring. And another one at 16 Alexander Avenue on 674 square metres, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars. So there was a sale in Alexandra Crescent and a sale in Alexander Avenue. So it's quite confusing. Rye has that problem, and there are several double named streets in the suburb, and I fail to understand why that's happened, because I'm sure it must send the postman crazy, but nevertheless, that's all for 950,000. Pardon me. Spring. Rosebud, 40 Spray Street, 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 car on 503 square metres. That's all for 1,030,000, so strong result there. 6 Jarry Close, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars, small block of land, 253 square metres, but wasn't a subdivision, it was a house on its own right, 690,000. And a parcel of land sold in Rosebud at 785 square metres, so a nice parcel there. 4 Leisure Way North was the address there, and sold for a tidy sum of 490,000. Tutgaruk, just one sale in Tutgaruk, 23 Panorama Drive, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car accommodation on a nice block of 1,075 square metres. That sold for $775,000. It was a bungalow, and that's typical price for Tutgaruk in the bungalow ranges of 3 bedroom homes. One sale in Capel Sound. It was a large parcel of land very close to the front beach, and I suspect it may have been able to be subdivided because it did sell for a strong result of $1,010,000. So land size there was 929 square meters. So I suspect somebody has bought that to subdivide it. So watch that space. No sales in St Andrews Beach or Fingal or Cape Schanck, and no sales in Sorrento last week, sadly, but I'm sure they're coming as we bow down into spring. Now, just to give you an overall view of the market as we reported it from last weekend, the auction clearance rate was 57%. Now, that's quite low. A healthy market indicates an auction clearance rate between 68 and 75%. So, in very strong markets, it can get up to 80-85%, but average it sits between high 60s and mid 70% range. So 57 is quite low. And of those properties, 334 were sold after auction, 126 properties were passed in. Conversely, there were 1,079 private sales last week across the Melbourne area. Now that tells us and also mirrors what's happening on the peninsula. We are not seeing that many auctions at the moment. I expect we will see some more in the springtime as the market starts to build again coming into the holiday period. But for the time being, auctions are not the favoured method of marketing. It's certainly the private sale campaign that is favouring vendors' intentions. And, really, I think we are starting to see over the last 3 weeks, we've seen more $2 million plus sales than we've seen all winter. That's also an indication of confidence starting to creep back into the market, which is a great thing if you are thinking of coming on the market. I think the only direction we're going to see pricing now is up, and because the mood is starting to lift in our property markets. And I think for those of you who are wanting bargains and waiting for bargains, I would buy a house in the next 2 weeks, because when spring comes, I think you'll find that the mood will start to lift, as will prices and demand. Always a cyclical thing, property. Have a great week. I will talk to you again about what's happening in the property market. If you're thinking of selling, give me a call, 0419 352 439. Prue Jones signing off from Place Coastal. Have a lovely week. Thank you so much.